Broadcasting live from Youngville, North Carolina and Ontario, Canada, this is Got Mead Live, a weekly show where Vicky Rowe and AJ Aramutz bring you the mead news, meadery info, and mead-making discussions from all over, talking with mead makers, mead owners, industry mavens, and influencers. This is Got Mead Live, a weekly podcast about mead and the people who love it and where the mead world is going. And now here are your hosts, Got Mead owner Vicky Rowe and mead and wine maker AJ Aramutz.
From the den of the puppies of the apocalypse in northern Michigan, the bunny pen in Ottawa, Canada, the palatial retirement state in Minnesota, and the sunny hills of Monterey, Mexico, it's Got Mead Live. Welcome to the show. I want to thank all the folks who renewed or signed up for a Got Mead patron membership over the past couple weeks. You are appreciated. That is what we need to be able to keep this going. And sorry about that. So we hope you'll consider becoming a patron member. It's only $30 a year, about 50 cents a week. Get you access to the patron boards on the Got Mead forum and our patron Facebook group, and the award-winning recipes contained therein. But like I say, that's where they insist on us giving the money to keep this thing on the road. So here we go. If you want to catch us live, you can find us on Twitch. We're at twitch.tv/meadwench. YouTube is youtube.com/@gotmead. X is Real Got Mead, and Facebook is facebook.com/gotmead. And that's where we are showing up live all the time. So definitely check that out. And the chat is part of the podcast, so comment from wherever you're watching. We'll see it. If you want to check out our social media, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/gotmead and facebook.com/groups/gotmead. On Twitter, we are at Real Got Mead. And if you want to send us comments, questions, criticisms, people you think we need to have on the show, what have you, you can go to gotmead.com. Put your mouse over, but do not click Got Mead Live Radio Show. Click the drop down, and that'll take you to a form that goes to all three of us. So it's definitely going to be, we will definitely see it. Trying to talk and type at the same time is not working. I want to do plugs for our lovely sponsors, calling all mead lovers and adventure seekers. Look no further than Honeybrook Craft Meadery for your go-to destination for wonderful, light, and refreshing mead. With a location in Castle Rock, Colorado, and the new Garden Cottage Experience coming this spring to Littleton, Colorado. Go to honeybrook.com, that's HONNI brook.com, to review the tap list, upcoming events, and order online. And we have the honey jar. Crafting excellent mead requires excellent honey. Luckily, the honey jar is here to help. Since 2005, the honey jar has been supplying delicious, pure, raw honey in easy-to-handle 12-pound pails to hobbyist brewers around the United States. Visit them at thehoneyjarhome.com/gotmead. So, what are we drinking? Oh, and welcome, Jason.
Welcome. Thank you.
There he is. We're all on the recovery mode from Valkyrie's Horn this weekend, except for AJ. She's the only one that didn't OD yet. Yeah.
That is an understatement.
Oh,
yeah. The evening bottle fairs were lots of fun.
Yes, they were. They were a lot of fun.
If nothing else, that's a great reason to show up at a competition. Not just this one, but hopefully any others too.
Yeah.
Well, I'll start off if you'd like.
Sure.
We had Australian Dominic Roth on the show a little while back, and he sent a few meads. This one was made with blueberries and blue gum honey. Right off the starting line, it's sage and sandalwood with blackcurrant, blueberry, and black pepper, and treacle in the nose. There's some spicy, woody aroma similar to Hungarian oak, and the aroma is intoxicating. I just want to stick my head in there for a while. The flavor leads with black pepper, currant, and some spicy heat from the alcohol. It's semi-plus with some nice honey notes and a long tart finish. This is a fantastic mead, really complex for just having 2 ingredients. Great job.
Yeah, that blue gum honey is pretty special.
That's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's where some of that spiciness is coming from.
It
Wow.
is, yeah. A lot of their honeys have a spicy note to them at
It's
least the ones that I tried.
really nice. I love it. Great job.
Nice. Very cool. Okay, what you got, AJ?
I have got something you sent me, actually. It's a bit of a story about how once upon a time some ants got into some rather special honey and then got turned into mead anyways. So congrats to John Talkington on making a delicious mead, and thanks to Vicky for reminding me I adore heather honey almost as much as I like orange blossom. This has a really fruity aroma somehow that reminds me of my first mead, which was not made with anything at all the same as this, but for some reason there's an aroma. And the mead I'm finding really, really well balanced and a bit reminiscent of Drambuie. So thanks for sharing that. It's really tasty.
Yeah, glad I was able to get a bottle to you. I actually have a strawberry banana boucher that Ryan Kretschmar sent me. And thank you, Ryan. They came yesterday. And he sent me 3 bottles of different bouchers. So I decided to get strawberries, like one of my favorites. So it's a ton of strawberry in the nose, like strawberry fields when you stick your nose in there. Nice creamy banana underneath that. This is a sweet mead, and it has a nice strawberry flavor with just a touch of acid, enough that, kind of heats your cheeks up a little bit over time. Texture is creamy, so not getting a lot of banana flavor, but you get the texture from that, and so it makes it kind of nice and creamy. There's just a little bit of sour in the undernotes, and the honey's providing a good sweetness. Not a ton of flavor from that. Strawberry pretty much is the head of the show on this all the way through, but it's a nice mead and an easy drinker. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. So, Jason, did you capitulate and pour mead, or are you on water tonight?
No, I had a long day at work, and I had enough mead to last me for the next week or two, just over the weekend.
Yeah.
So, of course, I say that, but I'll probably crack a bottle open tomorrow or the day after. No, I'm sitting here sipping on Blanton's right now.
I thought about making myself a Manhattan, and I was just like, well, couldn't decide. So I decided. Ryan sent me this, and I promised him that I'd give him some feedback on it. So
yeah, I had some friends bring a bottle back when they went to Kentucky, and it's been screaming at me from the bar. So
yeah, it's Blanton's, man.
So something with a little less sugar tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. After this one tonight, I doubt I'll drink any more mead between now and the next show. So I OD'd. I mean, I was just sloshing sugar all the way home. It was just like, God, I must have drank a gallon of water on the way home.
That's just about right.
Yeah, trying to flush all the sugar out of my system, because it was all Kevin confessed that they prejudged the dries, and that's why everything we had was sweet. I was like, I don't know why there wasn't any dry ones. He's like, well, there's a reason for that.
3 plates of dry, and you get what sparkling was. But,
well, don't feel bad. I slept half the way home.
Did you? Oh, what? You let Deb drive?
Halfway.
Okay.
She drove to Des Moines, and I drove the rest of the way.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to see everybody, truly. Look forward to that kind of thing every single year. Of course, there's other events too, but for us here, it's the one we're running. So we have so much fun having everybody here.
Yeah, it was a good time. For those of you who didn't go, Valkyrie's Horn was this past weekend, and how many meads did you guys end up having, Kev?
Oh boy, all together, I think about 430 or so.
Not bad.
Yeah. Yep. And some very interesting meads, and it was a lot of fun to see some new names in the winner list, people that I've never heard of. And on the home side, the winner was a guy out of the Netherlands. And I think that's kind of cool, when you get these entries, international entries, and they perform really well. It's really a lot of fun to see.
Nice. Yeah, it was a good time. And this is, if you thought about attending a comp, this is a good one to do that. It's Minneapolis. Usually, what are they moving it back a little bit? So middle of March-ish? Coming on for next year?
We'll probably be on March 2021. We haven't finished deciding yet. We're having a meeting this week. We're trying to work with the Drunk Month organizer.
Which was the same weekend, yeah. That's
Yeah.
why Matt Mead was judging at that.
Right.
Your mic is dropping, Kev.
Yeah, we're talking to the IBU Open guys also to see if we can, move away a little bit. We don't have a lot of flexibility, but we can make some small adjustments, and we'll try to do that as best we can. So
yeah,
most likely the 20th and 21st of March, and hopefully that'll remain our permanent date then.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Chad will be able to come then. He was bummed because that's Tampa Beer Week, where we were. He's like, it was Tampa Beer Week. I'm kind of busy. I was like, all right.
Right. Well, that's interesting because I thought he shut down.
He did, but I don't know what he's still doing. Okay. So I don't know exactly what's going on with that. But maybe he's got the last of his stuff and he was pouring at Tampa Bay Beer Week, or he's working with one of the other people that are at Tampa Bay Beer Week or something.
Okay.
Hard to say, yeah. But for those of you that don't know, this is probably one of the most eventful events just because they have a lot of stuff. You go to a typical comp and usually there's like maybe one thing that you could do that's not judging or stewarding, it's usually a comp. This has got there's bottle shares both nights. So Friday and Saturday night there were bottle shares. There was an event at a meadery on Friday before the bottle share. Then we had the bottle share. Then the next day we judge all day. Then we had dinner, and that was Valkyries did an awards dinner, and then we had the awards, and then we had another bottle share. It was so much fun.
Don't forget the 25 sample educational presentation.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah. It's like, I can't. They all taste the same.
I was a little surprised at how similar they did taste.
They did taste very similar, but yeah, my palate was about blown by then.
Yeah.
2 days of sweets. I got nothing left in the tank at that point. If we're going to do samples of that many samples, let's do it the first day.
Yeah, of course, one of the other fun things that we do, and I think, some other competitions add some extra things like this, but we have a special category every year. This year it was chocolate, and we received 21 entries. I think 23 were entered, but we actually got 21, which is a really nice turnout for that.
I got to judge one of those. That was fun.
Yeah, I didn't get to taste a single one of them, so that was disappointing, but really fun to see a great turnout for that. And next year's special category will be the pie theme, because originally we were thinking we would have the comp on 314, but if we move it to 321, that won't
still pie is good.
Fit. Yeah. So, but it's still a pie theme. So it has to feature some detectable form of pie crust and a filling that would be appropriate for a pie.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting if somebody submits a mincemeat mead. Just saying.
Yeah.
Now that you threw the idea out there.
Yeah, that's why I threw the idea out there. I am evil that way.
Yeah. So, get creative and start planning what you want to do, and we'll see what happens.
I don't know, man. I'm usually the ones that'll get the weird meads. So if I end up with a chunky mead, I'm going to be upset.
Well, so here's a way to defeat that problem. Enter the category.
True.
Yep, that you don't have to judge it.
And I think you have made some weird meads in the past, haven't you?
I've made a few.
All right, like so let's hear about one.
Dude.
Well, probably the weirdest one we did was it was a group project that didn't exactly turn out the way that we wanted it to. So I actually entered it this year, and it was basically a citrus blossom mead that was aged in a gin barrel. But the issue with it is you got a lot of the citrus out of the honey. I mean, we use a lot of honey from Sean Harris. So, you know, I probably have about 40, 50 bags of this honey out there on the racks in the garage. And the citrus came through really well. It was just a blend, you know, a blend of orange blossom with his lemon blossom honey. And that came through, but the gin barrel, basically you got a taste of gin up front, but then it went into this weird amalgamation of like cookie and hay. And it was just weird. It wasn't what you would expect from, you know, like a gin barrel. It wasn't infected because we put a beer in right after that mead and the beer came out fine. So we think that it was, you know, possibly just, you know, some interaction there with the honey or what they had put in with the gin for some of the botanicals that just threw some really weird flavors. I mean, it scored decently at the comp, but I just threw it in there for feedback. But that's probably the latest weird one I've done.
That's not even all that weird. I mean, come on. We got, you know, Matt Whitey and Peeps as your bar here, you know?
Yeah, I try not to get that weird.
He is never, you know, he's going to be 10 years in the grave. We'll still be talking about that.
Yeah.
You remember that Peeps meet?
Well, and isn't he the same person who started the glitter trend? I think he is.
God.
Was Whitey the one who started that?
Yeah, I think he was.
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, I have a kid, so I try not to
do glittery things.
blow too much money on stuff that's gonna, you know, get me in trouble for
attract
stuff.
children.
Yeah.
Unicorn meads are not a good thing when you got littles in the house.
No.
Yeah. Oh, look, it shines. Yeah. That.
Yeah, sparkly is probably not a good idea.
And now you find out why it was on the top shelf where you're not supposed to go.
That's right.
What part of "don't touch that" did you not understand?
Well, don't ever put a label on something that says "don't touch."
Yeah.
Because what's the first thing everybody do? You know.
Bummer. Christian is saying that Cuban Customs confiscated his honey, so his 2025 batch of Memories of Maria will be a lot smaller this year. I don't know what kind of honey that is, but what a bummer.
That sucks.
It does.
So
I guess don't order from Cuba if you're. You know.
Was it coming from Cuba or going to Cuba?
Cuban Customs confiscated it, and he doesn't live in Cuba, so I'm assuming coming from.
That seems.
It has to go through outbound customs and then inbound. Yeah.
And I thought it was slow getting or iffy getting honey from Europe.
Yeah. Yeah, if I get honey from Europe, I try to get honey I can tote back with me after a trip to Europe, you know?
Right.
Because then at least you know where it's going. Of course, then you have to argue with the TSA people or whoever.
Yeah.
What's this in this bucket? Honey?
Take a taste.
Yeah. I already pissed off the people in Berlin enough. I don't really want to do that again.
They won't remember you.
Well, probably not. Several years ago, so probably not. But it was scared 5 years off my life. I can tell you that.
There's a little picture on the side of the desk where the customs officials are sitting, right? Do you see this woman?
Yeah. I don't look like that anymore, though.
Okay, good. Way to go.
My hair is completely different color. I've lost like 60 pounds since then. So. Yeah.
Okay. Good deal.
Yeah,
I did that in India one time. I went there for work and was there for about 2 weeks. And one of the guys I work with lives in Nepal. So we took a 7-hour trip up to where he lives, just there on the outskirts of Nepal. And I was able to bring back not a gallon, but, you know, probably at least a pound of the honey you can get up there. The what they quote the mad honey.
Oh yeah, that's the
And
stuff that has the hallucinogenic properties.
yeah,
Yeah.
where if you take more than a tablespoonful, you're gonna, be tripping balls for the next several hours.
Oh dear.
So you go through their airport to get out, and their TSA has submachine guns, the full 9 yards on them.
Yeah, Mexico, they had them in Mexico too, and it was like, dang.
And nothing makes you sweat harder than them questioning why you have a jar of honey and a cricket ball in your luggage.
A cricket ball.
And
cricket ball?
Yeah, I had to get rid of the cricket ball because of the fact that they thought it could be used as a weapon. And I'm like, that's the most single-use thing I can think of.
If you had a cricket stick, maybe, but a ball?
They didn't question the honey, though. They're like, oh, well, what kind is it? I don't know. I bought it at one of your shops around here.
That's funny.
U.S. Customs was a little bit more questioning.
Yeah, I've only ever been questioned by U.S. Customs once, and that was coming back from England in 2020. No, it's 2002. And I had 2.5. This is before they had changed it so that you couldn't carry alcohol on board. So I had like a duffel bag stuffed full of mead bottles, and then I had my checked suitcase stuffed full of mead bottles, and so I had like 2.5 cases of mead with me. And so I'm like clanking down that endlessly long hallway, towing a box behind me, and got my duffel bag over my shoulder, and it's like breaking my shoulders because it weighs like 40 pounds, and the hallway at Raleigh between International and where you get your baggage is like 14 miles long, or at least it seems like it when you're carrying that much meat around. And it, oh geez, why is it doing that? And it's taking the sounds of people coming in on Twitch and stuff and blowing it out on my computer. I don't know why. But anyway, so you get down to where the ag dogs are and the customs guys, and they got the little ag beagle, and he's sniffing around everything. And this was in England, and it was that's where I had been, and it was the middle of the whole mad cow disease scare. So if you had like gone to a farm in England, they'd like wrap you up, take you away, kind of thing. So they asked me, have you been in a farm? Have you done this? Have you done it? What's in the bottles? Oh, that's mead. Nobody knew what it was. It's 2002. And he's like, well, what's that? I said, it's like a low alcohol wine. He's like, oh, okay. Welcome home. I'm like, can't believe my luck. Oh my God.
Well, I was able to bring some honey back from Mexico from our trip. Nobody gave me any static.
Yeah, same.
I spent an extra night in the Atlanta airport, but
but that wasn't Mexico's fault, was it?
No, not at all.
Yeah,
it was kind of customs fault. But,
yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
And Delta's fault mostly.
And Delta's fault, yeah.
Yeah, but the honey made it through, so that's good.
That's cool. So
so Jason, you've got 2,000 pounds of honey in storage.
Yeah.
You have the same problem that I have.
I have a little over that. I have about 2,200 now.
Dang.
I have it stored over a big long gorilla rack or two in the garage. I'm actually on the second rack now.
Just FYI, those Hawaiian honeys in the bags, I know for a fact that mice will chew through those. So if you have any mice.
Yes, they will. So what I've been doing with those.
I pour them into, I buy jugs and I pour them into.
That's what I do. Yeah. I buy glass jars to put them in.
Yeah, they don't bother those. But yeah.
I just relabel them.
I had them all sitting on a shelf, and I came down there one day and they'd started gnawing on the corner one. It's like, well, we're going to fix that problem.
Time for traps.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, unfortunately, Christian's over there going 2,200 pounds. So you have over 2 tons of meat or of honey.
So I think a good friend of most of us, the way I got into that was back in 2016. Actually, it was a little while before that. It was like 2015, 2014 at Minnesota Mash Out. I had the time and got to sit with a guy who was bragging about his honey stash, and he had flown up to Judge, and the person was Carvin Wilson.
Oh, I was going to say, was it Carvin?
And I didn't know who he was at the time, and we chatted for quite a while, and over the years he'd come up to Judge, and he came over one time, and he saw my 2 pails of honey and a couple jars, and basically said, "Man, that is just so precious." So when
you would say,
yeah, right.
I would just buy honey as I needed it.
Mm-hmm.
So my options whenever I had an idea were kind of limited because I'd have to wait for it to get here, all of that. So 2020 hit with the pandemic. And of course you can't do anything. You save a ton of money, or at least, I think quite a few of us did during that time because everything was closed. So I was like, all right, well, let's see what I can buy. So over the course of about a year, I kind of went on a buying spree, and it's, some of it I've used, I've used a couple 100 pounds in group projects, things like that, but more honey seems to find its way in there. So yeah, now I've got enough to where I can just go out and see what I want to make, and then pull it off the shelf, throw a honey blanket around it, and decrystallize it if need be, and make it.
Nice.
I will say though that when it takes up half of your garage and you have things to store,
Mhm.
other than honey, yeah, it's a little bit of a pain, but work around it.
Oh yeah.
well, your climate allows you to store it in the garage. So mine has to be down in the booth.
Yeah, I was going to put it in a shed out in the backyard, and our HOA won't let any of us have sheds here. So,
Ugh.
That's reason number 14,687,592 of why never to be in an HOA.
But sometimes you don't have a lot of.
Yeah.
No, this is true. This is very true. I've been fortunate that I've never been in one, actually. Now I think about it. Somebody's mic is out. There we
But
go.
it's nice to have the honey stash because you can, like you say, you can basically go out there and if you don't want to wait for it to decrystallize with a honey blanket, you just dig it out of there with a spatula or something.
Yeah.
That's what I usually do.
well, the one thing I've kind of gotten used to doing, and Kevin, you or Josh will need to let me know next year if no one's doing it up there, and I'll do it. Is basically, some of these events at homebrew shops that are local, mead days, things like that. I'll do kind of like what they would normally have at, Valkyrie's Horn or Mazer Cup, and that is, the honey library, where you have a bunch of different honeys there for people to try.
Mhm.
So that's also where some of that honey goes.
Yeah. We had one there years ago, and it was when the mead mixer was still happening, and Carvin brought his and I brought mine, and between us we had a fair number of honeys.
Yeah, we normally have one at the comp, but we didn't this year because Adam wasn't able to make it. So
Adam is the keeper of the library.
well, yeah, it's his. So
Okay.
we're gonna fix that. So we won't have that again.
I got to go through all my bags and buckets and whatnot and get I got samples of all my Hawaiians because as they came in, I took off a little jar of each of those. But I've got like a bucket of meadow foam, and I've got all kinds of different honeys that I got to go and pull off enough to do that because my beekeeping club wants to do a varietal tasting.
Exactly. That's one of the things that I think is really good for beekeeping to do, because there's a lot of old school beekeepers who will tell you things like, there's no such thing as varietal honey. Well, okay.
Oh, here, taste this.
I mean, okay, I agree. Technically, you're right. It's not 100% varietal, but try this coriander blossom.
Yeah.
Try
Just
this
try
metal
it.
foam. Try
Yeah.
this carrot blossom, and now tell me that they all taste the same,
Yeah.
right? No. So
Yeah. Try this 96% linden blossom.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try this heather. Try this Mexican
Yeah.
orange blossom.
Orange
Try
blossom.
this meadow foam, for gosh sakes. And that is as close to 100% as it gets because they're like right there in the middle of those very well-defined fields. You know?
Yeah. So yeah, great educational tool for sure, and of course, especially for mead makers, even more so. But because
absolutely.
we have specific uses for those varietals.
Well, and it's just good too. And for those of you out there in listener land, even if you're not taking them to a comp and putting them out or to your beekeeper club like I am or whatever, pull a sample of every honey you buy and keep a little jar of it, because especially if you buy enough of that honey that you're going to be making more than one batch of mead, like if you buy a 5-gallon pail or something, then you may want to be able to go back and taste that in your little jar and say, okay, well, I'm thinking about maybe doing this or this, but I don't know which one of these honeys is going to work better for that. This is a great way to have kind of a testing bed. Dead silence. I must have really bombed with that one.
It was just sorry, I was just sitting here and kind of mentally reviewing what we've done the last couple of years for educational things with competition. And I believe that next year will be our 3rd year cycle for traditional.
Nice.
So that would be something if you're thinking about going to a competition and you want to learn something about varietal honeys. The last time we did it, we do it every 3 years. The last time we had 128 varietals mead available for people to take. Now, obviously, you cannot do all of them, but even the most dedicated guy, like Bill, who took the challenge to go through the 25 samples we had for the Woody.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be able to taste 128. No. But the point being, you can look for those interesting varietal honeys that you've never had before and give them a try. And that is so valuable.
Yeah, it really is. World Atlas of Honey, Marina Marchese. Kevin, did you go to the Mazer Cup where we had her at?
No, I didn't.
Oh, bummer. AJ, I think you were at that one. Were you?
Yeah.
Italian lady talked about honey.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's a honey sommelier, but she literally wrote
She had some samples with her too, I believe.
She did, yeah. I got to taste some Spanish honeys at the Valks. Brines, is that the right?
Mm-hmm. Peter Brine.
Yeah, Brines.com. I think it was there. And
I think it's Brian's Honey.
Brine's Honey, okay, BrinesHoney.com. And they had these Spanish honeys, and they had a heather honey that was really, really good. And it was completely. It's like difference between California orange blossom and Mexico orange blossom. Big difference from Scottish heather. So that was wild. And I ended up getting this dark forest honey, and I don't need to be buying any more honey, but dang it, they were right there. And I'm weak. And that was really amazing too. In fact, it reminded me of Kevin, of that dark forest honey that Roberto had from southern Mexico.
And you got that from Katie?
Yeah, she had no, not that. She had the dark forest. I wanted to get that and the heather, but she had that too. But I couldn't afford both. I had to pick.
Okay, because we had some interesting honey from World Honey Exchange out on the price table. But
I saw that. I didn't notice what kind it was.
Kind of curious to see what people are doing with those.
The herbal forest fire in a jug.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, one of those was like, holy campfire, Batman. But there's a place for that. You just got to be a little creative. I mean, I can think of a couple of spots where I'd want to use that honey, right? Like, okay, so let's talk about that a little bit. Let's
talk as long as we're on the subject of honey varietals.
Right. Let's go down a little bit of a recipe rabbit hole here, and let's say you're gifted a honey you've never had before. It's smoky, it's dark, it's got some minerality to it, which perfectly describes one of the samples that was out on the table. What would you do with it? I've got some ideas for what I would do. What would you do with it, Jason?
Chocolate meadow foam.
You're going to add meadow foam to it?
Add meadow foam, add chocolate, and just use a tiny bit of that honey, just so it gives you a little of that campfire.
Okay. In my case, I think I would go with tart cherries, a lot of tart cherries, and turn it into kind of a smoky cherry manhattan.
Yeah, that works too.
Smoky and mineral.
Yeah. Kind of bitters, like with bitters in it. Yeah.
Peaches.
Yeah, that would be good.
Smoked peaches. Okay, I like that. That's
Peaches,
good.
touch of cinnamon, a little bit of cardamom, and maybe just a touch of ginger.
Peaches or pineapple?
That pineapple would work too, but I would grill the pineapple.
Yeah.
Yep.
Without having tasted it, I would say either something along the lines of like a raspberry chipotle to get extra smokiness, or grilled pineapple and habanero.
Yeah, that would be nice. Kyle saying the chestnut honey that they had there was awesome, and I was stunned because I'd never tasted chestnut honey, and all I'd heard was the one that when somebody said you can't make a good mead from chestnut honey, and John Talkington says, "I got this."
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer, and he made a really amazing, unsurprisingly, mead out of that. I expect no less from John. So, so I was expecting. I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, cool! I want to get a chance to taste this." And I was expecting something completely different than what it was.
Yeah, I brought home a bucket of that.
I actually think, looking back, I think that may be what I got because I was so stunned about it, and it's something I know I couldn't get. I desperately wanted the lavender though too. I already had plans for that, and I just had to pick. So I'll check with them if they've got more when I've got a little money. Maybe at the end of the month, I'll see if they'll ship me a bucket. But
I have so much honey, I had to restrain myself. I looked at those too, and I'm like, oh, no.
I keep saying that, and then somebody puts some really amazing honey that I've never had or can't find usually, and it's like, God.
I need to go through about 1,000 pounds of honey before I can buy anything else.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that space too. So I've got one of those big, like you've got, Jason, one of those big metal shelves that will hold like thousands of pounds. And it's full.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Well,
your mic's popping again, Kev.
Oh, I was just saying, it's
there you go.
Carvin's fault that I got into this honey.
Yeah, I think
I blame him.
I think we should all blame Carvin.
Yeah.
Honestly, let's all blame Carvin.
It was a turning point early on when I was making mead. I think I'd been doing it for a year or two when he brought up like a 30 sample library to the mash out one year. That's when I had my first sample of coriander, and I just could not believe how distinctively accurate it was to coriander. Just blew my mind. So
goes really good in a saison.
It does, and I've also made wit beer mead with those. Really good for that too.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing I thought of when you mentioned.
We got somebody in the chat says whenever a batch of honey is less than 2 pounds, pours it into an infinity bucket to make a yearly dump trad. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. It would be interesting. Yeah.
Well, it's like making freezer mead.
Yeah.
You're using stuff up. Christian says maybe a smoky Viking blood or chili pepper mead.
Mango habanero with a touch of smoke.
With a touch of smoke.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are good ideas. So if somebody was going to do that, would you, all these ideas are pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Would you go for a sizable mead and leave it semi-sweet or sweet? Or would you go like a session mead? What do you think, Jason?
I think you'd have to have some sweetness to it.
Yeah. With the smokiness,
yeah, with the smokiness, especially with the minerality, you'd want to leave some sweetness in there.
I mean, if it's too dry, the minerality and the smokiness are just going to overtake it.
Yeah.
It's got to have some. It's got to have some sweetness to it. So probably maybe high end of semi-sweet to low end of sweet.
Yeah. Okay. I think I agree. And so the reason I'm asking questions like this is because, people are wanting to know how do I make a recipe? Where do I start? What do I do? So these are all things you need to think about, right? What's the base honey? What's the flavor profile? What fruit are you putting in? How do they pair up? Are they complementary? Are they contrasting? How much residual sweetness do you need? Do you need carbonation? All these things add up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that, and I think some people, when they look at recipes too, I mean, usually everyone's go-to recipe when they want to start doing a mead or when they're making mead, everyone's go-to recipe is fruit.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Well, you
just
can.
like
It
like
allows
the
it allows flexibility.
yeah,
And
there's nothing wrong with that, not one bit. Because I mean, you make a tread, there is nothing to hide behind.
no,
So,
no
Right.
place to hide.
but I mean, with a fruit mead, I mean, sky's the limit. But I think the biggest thing when people are actually looking at making a fruit mead is they don't take into account how much liquid that fruit is going to donate to the mead.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And it messes with your SG because
right.
yeah.
So, some people will not add enough fruit, and then you just get this hint of flavor, that leaves you really wanting more fruit, or, they'll put so much in that it's definitely fruit forward, but it's, unless they've used enough honey, it just waters the meat down.
Yeah.
So
a good base formula for fruit.
Oh, there goes your mic again, Kev. I don't know what's going on with that.
Could put that, I suppose. I'll try that in a second.
Okay, now you're back.
I'm good.
Yeah, you sound okay now. I don't know why, but it just goes wonky every so often for a few seconds.
You
Okay.
get dipped underwater or something.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it's the software not keeping up.
I could do it.
Could be. Anyway, a good basic formula for fruit additions is per pound of fruit you're going to get, and it varies obviously. My measurement says 0.09 gallons, but call it a tenth of a gallon just for easy math, right? 1 pound of fruit equals 1/10 of a gallon for most fruit. There are plenty of exceptions, but that's a pretty good rule of thumb. So you know that if you're going to add 5 pounds of fruit to a 1 gallon vat, you're going to get half a gallon of additional liquid contribution.
right.
And most fruit comes in roughly in the 1.040 to 1.045 gravity range. So that's the amount of sugar it's going to contribute. So if you use those two numbers, you can get a very good idea where your total volume and your total gravity is going to end up. So you know what your starting point is when you begin to craft that mead recipe. You can do seat of the pants too, of course, and just take repeated hydrometer readings throughout the mixing process. That works. I prefer to do it mathematically because then I don't have to mess with that. But different ways for different people.
Yeah, I'll usually use like the calculator on Got Mead here to help out with some of the fruit additions, things like that. And I may up the honey a little bit depending upon just how nervous I am at the moment. when making it, it's like, I don't know, it doesn't seem like enough. But yeah, if people haven't really checked out the calculator on here,
I need to do an overhaul on that thing. I was thinking about taking it and possibly running it through AI, and because there's Grok will do some programming for you, and my JavaScript skills are way in my past. So.
I would actually skip Grok and go to DeepSeek if you want programming.
Oh, okay. I'll check it out. Because I'd like to get that thing overhauled so that it's prettier, easier to use, and ultimately I'd like to turn it into an app.
There you
You know,
go.
Yeah.
so that's out there so that everybody can use it. I mean, who doesn't have their phone on them, right?
+1 for the app.
Yeah, right.
Hmm.
So, but I mean, I've had a couple of people talk to me about doing that, and I'm like, I don't have, it's to have someone else create it because I've never made an app before. I don't know how to do it. That stuff all came after I learned all my programming skills.
Yeah,
But I've had a couple of people offer, but I just don't have adequate funds to pay them, unfortunately. So.
and when they offer, I don't think they realize just how much work it's probably going
There is a lot of work involved with that, yeah. So, but I've been wanting to take in just the one on the website and overhaul it so that it's prettier. But it's going to be 5 or 6 solid days of just beating it to death before I get it where I need it. I'm sure. So I've got to have that time. But anyway, you were saying go to the app before I interrupted you so rudely.
No, you're fine. I was just saying use the app because I mean, so I do what a lot of people probably don't, and that is when I get a bucket of honey, I put it in a honey refractometer just to see what the water content of that honey is,
Mm-hmm.
because it's going to affect things in minuscule ways, but sometimes those minuscule ways are very noticeable. So you can change the actual sugar content inside of the calculator, and it'll throw out a pretty accurate number on gravities, where you might want to start, things like that. And then I'll go from there, and I'll use the yeast calculator over at Mead Made Right.
Okay.
That sounds good. You can hear AJ's writing all this down.
And
Well, you
between
can do
those two, you can
style.
have pretty accurate numbers.
You can do Polish style brewing too.
Yeah, you can do that too.
It's all volumetric.
Yeah.
Well, let's drop into a Nathan question. He left us with a bunch of things here.
Of course he did.
Let's start with increased care in catering attention to judges, keeping judges well taken care of with food for their participation, and all of the competitions that you judge, which stand out as being among the best dining experiences at a comp? And what did you eat that you were surprised by?
Oh, I love our local comp, but
Which is Kansas City Beer Meisters, right?
right when it comes to food, though, because I mean, living in Kansas City, it's going to sound horrible, but living in Kansas City, you can only eat so much barbecue before you're tired of it. Just for a couple of days at least. I would probably have to say, some of the best, probably the 2 best meals that I've had that have been at mead comps.
Okay.
And I'll toss a few examples out there. The food you guys serve at Valkyrie's Horn, fantastic. The food they serve at Mazer Cup, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard great things about Domra's Cup. I think they're probably the one competition that's on the Gulf that has a low country seafood boil at the end of every comp.
Right, that's an attraction. I got to say, I agree with you there. That's one of the things that makes me want to go, just to experience that.
I mean, for my own club here, I'll go and I'll judge the comp and I'll eat, because normally what I'm judging requires me to eat. But when it comes to like their banquet and some of the other stuff for awards, I usually skip it. And the reason for that is it's the same food every year. It's barbecue. And I can go anywhere and have barbecue.
Yeah, I get that.
So I'm a little bit of a foodie. I enjoy variety. And I mean, if you toss something out there like a big fish fry or a meal that I've not gotten at a competition before, that's going to make me come back.
Mm-hmm. Pizza's probably not going to do it, right?
Well, not for like a main meal.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Did that
mean,
the first couple of years at the Mazer, and it was
Yeah.
great, but we were small then, and it was what we
Mhm.
had. We didn't have the budget to do anything else.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, 8 years ago, our comp, we would order in about 30 pizzas for all the judges for lunch,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
but it wasn't like, a banquet. I
Oh,
mean,
right. Of course.
we used to do actual plated dinners with a beer pairing and
Oh, nice.
meat and stuff like that, where we'd have a shrimp boil or it would be a full Italian meal.
Dahmer's Cup does a Low Country boil after theirs.
Yeah,
And that is great. Have you been?
I haven't, but it's on the list for next year.
Yeah, need to go. Yeah, it's a great comp. I miss it. I used to go every year when I was living in NC because my daughter lived down that way, and I just go down and see my grandkids and then go judge a comp. But
As long as the world's not on fire,
yeah,
it's on the list for next year.
yeah, right. I hear you. Yeah, I'd like to go next year, but it's jumped in right there. So it's like Domrus, then EMMA, then Valks,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, gonna have to make some choices. For me,
Yes.
it won't be Dominus Cup next year because I'm
Yeah.
planning
Well,
to go to
you're
EMA.
saying you wanted to go to Poland, right?
I do. So that's my
Yeah,
plan.
I do too.
Yeah.
It's gonna all depend. For me, it's all gonna depend on whether or not I've got the funds. So
Mm-hmm.
I
get it.
Yeah.
All right. So that's a great answer to the question. And by the way, for anybody who's considering or has considered getting to the Kansas City Beer Meister competition in February, I went for the very first time. My friend Al's gone for like 26 years. It was a lot of fun. I'm sorry I didn't get to go before, but I will definitely come back. It was fun.
I'm gonna have to add that one to my list to get to at some point.
Yeah, it's big. They really do a good job. They run it like clockwork, and it's great. So, well worth doing.
Let me know when you're coming back in, and I'll take you to better breweries.
Yeah, I was kind of obligated with the people I was with, and quite right, there were a couple of not so great ones in the list, but it was okay. It was still fun. All right, what's one of the weirdest meads you have ever seen or tasted at a competition, Nathan?
Does this count for worst or just weirdest?
Can
it be a combination of both?
Yeah, let's do both because they're both kind of interesting in different ways.
So we had a guy, and this was normally people enter some pretty decent meads. Are there a few that need some work? Of course, but you don't always have a mead that really stands out in your mind. Well, we had someone enter a mead, and I know who the person is, but when they entered it, it was a Eastern buckwheat mead with tart cherries, aged over oak. And at the sound of that, you don't think it's that weird. They fermented it with Brett. Now, Eastern buckwheat already has kind of this enteric kind of barnyard character, depending upon where you get it from. And you mix that with tart cherries and a lot of oak, and then you have this funky, cheesy, Brett Lambicus mixture, in combination. That was probably the weirdest one I've ever had, and probably also the worst.
I can see that being weird because, I've had oak aged cherry buckwheat, and really good.
It's just not made for Brett.
Yeah.
And the only reason I tasted it was when they cracked the bottle, you could smell it down the table. And even the judges didn't want to sample it. It was bad.
Well, I mean, yeah, buckwheat's like that on the best of days, but I imagine you add bread on top of that. Ooh.
But I tried it, and I had to step outside for a little bit afterwards. But it was weird, buckwheat wasn't bad. The tart cherries were good. The oak was severely over oaked. It was pretty woody. But the biggest thing was this massive dose of just lambic style bread. And that is, if you could dig through and kind of peel away the layers, you can understand where everything was and kind of see, what was going on. But it was one that I hope I never have to encounter again at the same time.
And now you know what not to do.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I marked that off of the to-do list immediately. Make a mead with Brett. Nope.
I want to
could
say
see
that
it working in some places, but not.
Yeah.
Well,
I
because
want to say Tom did a Brett mead at one point, but I'm not sure.
I don't think he did it intentionally. I think that one he did just became infected.
Okay, so he just rolled with it.
And he rolled with it, and it was a very light infection. It wasn't like over the top.
No.
And it actually made it fairly pleasant. I mean, I'm sure you've probably been to some, Vicky, where a couple meaderies around the nation, they still do wild ferments.
Oh yeah. No, I know of one that's all he does.
Yeah, I think there's one out of New York.
Yeah, that's Enlightenment Wines, I believe. Yeah. That's Raphael. We've had him on the show actually.
Yeah, and they make some pretty decent stuff.
Yeah, and well, in his meads, he formulates his partner is a drink wizard for making, he's a makes mixed drinks. So he makes a lot of meads.
Okay.
Yeah, a mixologist. He designs meads to be put into that. So
yeah, I mean, I have a friend that
music.
It's probably my dryer kicking off.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's all right. Hey, I got barking dogs. I can't say nothing.
you can thank Samsung for the entertainment.
Yeah, right.
No, I've had a couple of those meads brought back for me and things like that, and I've enjoyed all of them. They do a great job, but they also kind of have an idea of how to keep that under control a little bit and not necessarily let it just get too funky. But yeah, those guys make great meads that are wild fermented.
I think Vicky's busy removing bot chat. All right, at the IBU.
Sorry, yeah, I was muted.
Yeah, no, that's right. At the IBU Open in Iowa, you were a winning co-brewer of an American IPA with Ron Barnes. What do you enjoy about collaborating with other homebrewers, be it beer, mead, wine, or cider maker?
What was that question again, Kevin?
Did I cut out again? Nathan's asking, at the IBU Open in Iowa, you were a winning co-brewer of an American IPA with Ron Barnes. What do you enjoy about collaborating with other homebrewers, be it beer, mead, wine, or cider?
I totally forgot about that entry, to be honest. So yay! When you collaborate, I usually enjoy collaborating with brewers. One, because it's, between moving into a house and still getting organized, and having a kid that's, it does take a lot of your time and stuff. I haven't probably brewed a beer on my own in, I'd say, 2 years, even though I have the equipment. So the nice thing about it is that you'll get people who are willing to collaborate and brew with you, to where you can go over, spend some time, get to know them, be able to share a beer or two, or in my case, a couple beers, a bottle of mead, and, really just kind of get to know them and have a good time. And, the beers aren't always going to come out great, but, you don't really, it's not really about what you're making. It's about getting to know who you're making it with, and the camaraderie that you have there, and being able to also share some collective knowledge, possibly. I've invited that person over to make a couple of meads here and such, and have their input on a few meads that we've entered into a few things. So it's really just about camaraderie and knowledge sharing more than anything.
Yeah, I would have to agree on that.
What's that?
Well, I would have to agree with them, the sharing
Oh.
common knowledge, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
If
Yeah.
you have an opportunity to go and brew with someone, especially if they're new, and you have
Or
to do it,
especially if,
take them up on it.
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're new and they're very experienced.
Yeah,
Too.
That's
absolutely.
honestly, that's probably the best scenario for a start out person, right? Is
Yep.
go do something with somebody who really knows what they're doing. They're gonna overload you.
Well, it depends on the person too. I mean, I made the mistake for somebody new who wanted. She really loved the Brazil. Be seasonal. And she's like, "Oh my god, I love this honey. I want to make it traditional." I should have stopped her right there.
Mm.
It didn't go. It didn't come out great, but she's been letting it sit. She's heard the story of my sit for 3 years first mead, and
Okay.
it actually ended up being okay.
Nice.
So she's happy with it. So I was really glad when she told me, actually just a few weeks ago, she's like, "So it's been sitting for like 3 years, and you know what? It's really good." And I was like, "Yes." Because I felt horrible that it didn't come out right, because she did it at my house and left it at my house. She'd just come up like, I was taking measurements for her, and she'd come up like every couple of days to check it out and all of that.
Well, it's a good learning experience, and I mean, age doesn't fix everything, but it can be amazing sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially when you've over-oaked something into plywood.
Yeah. Or if you got a little too heavy-handed with your chili peppers.
Actually, I have not found that age is out for me. It just gets worse.
Yeah. Kevin, I think your mic's going out again.
Or
Yeah.
your computer's
I'm gonna
forgotten
switch
how to
my-
computer. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. When he gets mad at it, it works.
Just smack it a few times, Kevin.
Yeah.
Percussive maintenance.
Pretend it's Russia and just pop it one. I'm thinking back to Die Hard in Outer Space. That's what I call it. And they're up on the space station, and he's trying to get the thing to work, and he's like, "Get out
Russian
of the
parts,
way!"
American parts, they're all made in Taiwan.
It's like Russian fix. I was like, okay. I have some Russian friends. I'll have to ask them about that. But
I guess we can carry on with the Nathan questions.
yeah, I guess so.
Last year's mead day at Bacchus and Barleycorn, you made one of your tried and true recipes and shared some knowledge. What did you make, and have you tweaked your approach since you started making it?
So that was was a long day, but it was a fun day. So I'm glad you got to make it. The mead that I made that day was actually it was a trad, and it was a semi-sweet made out of Sean Darrell Harris's Lehua honey.
Oh, that's a nice honey.
I haven't really tweaked the process that much. The one big thing about mead making, and it seems that everyone's a little bit different, is that once you find a process that you know you can turn out a good trad, unless it's dependent upon the honey to where you have to possibly make a change, you have a tendency not to mess with it.
I agree.
Because, like I said earlier, when you make a trad, there is nothing to hide. It's like making a German Pilsner, a good one. There's not much to hide behind on those. It's not like fruit or spice. So, the honey is basically the star of the show. So if you have a process and you have an amount down that gives you just that right amount of flavor that you're going for, and you're able to hit your gravity, hit the sweetness level that you're aiming for, stick with it. Obviously, going through acidity and bench trials, things like that, you'll have to tweak a little bit. It seems that every little bottle of acid I get is a little different. But yeah, if you have a process and you have it down to where it comes out with a good, consistent base mead every single time, don't tweak it.
Don't fix what's not broken, huh?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And take notes.
Yes, lots and lots of notes.
I have a 3-gallon jug of mead sitting down here in my office, and back in 2019, I think it was 2019, when NHC was in Rhode Island, I won my NHC medal that year, and that was after the mead also took first place in its category at Mazer Cup. And I made the mistake of not taking notes.
Oh, dear.
And I have spent probably the last 5 years trying to recreate that.
Oh.
Almost there. But if you take notes, it won't take you 5-6 years to be able to recreate it.
Yeah, I keep a logbook for everything, and I don't write everything down, but I write enough down that if I was going to try to do it again, I can repeat at least all the things that are under my control.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, I do it now.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm always telling people. I can't tell you the number of people I've had that have approached me, and they're like, "Can you help me with this?" And we see it all the time in the group.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can you help me with this? And it's like, I didn't take
Well,
notes.
what'd you do?
Well, how am I supposed to help you if I don't know what you did?
How are you supposed to learn if you don't know what you did?
Right. And how could you, and if it comes out really good, how are you going to duplicate it?
Yeah. And I see Christian in the chat had a spiced plum melomel. That actually sounds really good. Need to.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, going back through the.
Need to hit him up to share that.
Yeah. We might have to, we haven't had it other than AJ, who's not, she's Canadian, but, she's always on the show. We haven't had a Canadian on in a little while. Last one we had was Christeva, I think.
Yeah, sounds right.
Okay, we'll drag Christian on here. What do you think, Christian?
It's been a while, so yeah, it'd be great to talk to Christian.
Yeah. Well, there we go. I'll chat him up and we'll see if he wants to come on and talk shop.
Yeah.
So another Nathan question was, and I'm assuming that he did a deep dive on you, where some of the stuff's coming from. So what's the secret to making a great peach breakfast cobbler? Would you, or have you, made a mead inspired by that?
A mead made that's inspired by cobbler.
Yeah, peach breakfast.
Peach breakfast cobbler. It's funny that you mentioned that. No, I haven't made that one, but I do have the base recipe to try it. So several years ago, right before COVID, we had a charity event, and myself and another was going to attend to pour mead, and we did a all avocado blossom mead with Colorado peaches and a little bit of cinnamon in there for not even a day, just to give it a hint of the cinnamon, and some oak, and it came out really well. It was also probably about 16%.
So this,
I think, if I'm going to do that kind of a mead, I would probably use that recipe again and just alter it a bit to account for, that bready, kind of that bready pie crust that you would get. So,
how would you do that? And I ask because I suspect Nathan is looking for ideas for that special category for next year.
Well, I mean,
it sounds like it.
I know of a couple of ways that have been very successful with getting that crust note. One is, and you guys have heard me say this before, Malab, which you can buy on Amazon, and it's easy to come by, and you literally I threw a handful into a 5-gallon batch of cherry mead and ended up with cherry pie mead. And it worked great. I mean, it was toasty. It was just a little bready. It was just, it tasted like crust. But the other way, and this is what Brad Dahlhofer did when I did my collab with him for that same cherry pie mead, we couldn't find Malab in quantity because, he was making a commercial batch. So he ended up having a whole bunch of pie crust made and threw the pie crust in the bottom of the tank and fermented right on the pie crust.
Yeah, I mean, one of the ways
messy,
I've also,
but it works.
yeah, clearing it is another story.
Yeah, well, I mean, he has probably more robust clearing tools than those of us working from home in most cases.
Very true. A lot of us don't have some of the filters he probably has.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I have seen some people do is use honey and biscuit malt.
Oh, that would work.
Sure.
Yeah, that's.
I could see something like that giving the right notes. Yeah.
Yeah.
About 250, 300 grams in a 5-gallon batch.
Yeah, that might work. I've never worked with biscuit malt. I wouldn't have even thought of that because I don't make beer, so that's a thought. Guess they've got malts for everything. It sounds like.
Just about.
Yeah, they have about 1,000 of them now.
Oh, really? I didn't realize it was so extensive.
Oh no, expensive? No, not necessarily.
No, extensive.
Extensive.
So much,
yeah,
extensive. Yeah, with a T.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. There's a lot.
There's a ton.
I mean, now you can buy honey malt, which obviously doesn't have honey in it, but it has flavors that are reminiscent of honey. I mean, it's crazy the amount of stuff they've got out there now.
Christian's asking, that's an idea. Would you leave it uncrushed?
Yes.
Okay.
Why?
Yeah, I was going to say that, but yes, what he said.
Well, the reason for that is if I'm going to do that, I'd probably try both, but I would probably try it the first time uncrushed to see if it actually gave me what I wanted. If it didn't, then crush it and put it in.
I guess one thing I would wonder is, wouldn't you want to go through the starch conversion process before you put it into the mead? Because otherwise you're going to have all these unconverted starches in there. So clearing it's going to be really tough, really tough.
I have found that super clear will chew through just about anything except for maybe pies, like pie crust.
Like actual pie crust.
Or maybe graham cracker.
Yeah. People have used those too.
But I also have a Bon Vino here to filter with as well, and it gets rid of starches, things like that pretty well.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah, it is.
Crushing really serves one purpose, and that is, one, exposing the inside of the malt for, starch to sugar conversion for brewing.
Right.
So you can crush it. I think it's really personal preference, but if you really want that extra surface area, by all means, crush it. I would probably want to adjust your rollers on your mill so that it's not,
Powdering it.
crushed.
Mm-hmm.
Just a really coarse crush.
Yeah, you'd want it like first draft cornmeal crush.
Yeah, like really coarse polenta almost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Christian's saying you don't want that powder. That'd be a pain.
No. Yeah, you have that powder, it's going to turn into concrete at the bottom of your fermenter if it doesn't just float on the top. So, I mean, a lot of times you'll still get some of that essence by not crushing it, though. Because you will get some starches. You're going to get starch from it either way. But I think it's personal preference as to whether or not you want to, go through like a mini mash to try and convert the sugars first before you put it in.
Mm-hmm.
My fear also would be that at that point it would almost be close to making a braggot once you add all that back in. It's like a braggot light.
Yeah. Christian's pointing out that using the grains, though, would make your mead non-gluten free. So something to think about.
If that's the case, then what I might recommend is making gluten-free crust and toasting it.
Yeah.
Before putting it in, because
yeah,
I haven't done this myself, but in my experience, pretty much everything has an improved flavor by toasting.
it seems like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, lucky for me, there's only one person in my inner circle that's gluten intolerant, and if you're out judging a beer competition and you're allergic to gluten, my heart goes out to you.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't even want to be doing that. Shoot. Yeah.
So, but it is a valid point, though. It's you don't want to make something that has grains in it and then, serve that to someone who unknowingly to you is gluten intolerant.
Yeah. Well, and just, just off the top, there are more people that pop up as gluten intolerant or beyond in the mead world because of the fact that mead tends to be gluten free. So it's safe. Yeah.
Essentially, you just want to make sure you're very clear about your labeling if you've got any kind of potential allergen in it at all.
Yeah.
Like I always label whether or not I've added sulfites, even though there is some naturally occurring sulfite in every fermentation you do.
Right.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah, whenever I take a mead to to an event or just to a family gathering or whatnot, I usually set it off to the side, and the one person who's gluten intolerant, I'll tell them, get the bottle that's labeled with this, not this.
Yeah.
So otherwise, it's really just beer and fellow mead people that I share with most of the time.
Yeah.
And most of the mead people that I'm with judge beer as well. So it makes it very simple to kind of narrow down who some of the people are who can't try your stuff. But it's a very valid point.
I think for a while, Sergio was making stuff that had no green content in it, but was mimicking specific beer styles.
He was, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Some of them I think did have grain, but well, maybe not because he's a pro mead, so he wouldn't be able to do that.
Exactly. I think that was
Yeah.
why he was doing it, but
I think
also
that's why he
because
was doing it.
because also if you stay close to the style make it work with a mead just by altering the hops and the yeast that you're using to get the things that you want out of it. It's a nice alternative for people who can't have gluten. And I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do to adjust those things, especially between the yeast and the hops.
Right.
Yeah. We can get fancy here. We'll have to pick Sergio's brain for how he did beer style meads without.
Yeah.
I think we talked about that ages ago. We did have him on talking about that, but I don't think we went into it too heavily. He might be willing to talk about it now that he's
Now that he's not selling it, yeah.
Yeah, right. Now the question is whether or not we can actually get the man, because with 2 restaurants, I don't even know when he would sleep.
Bit busy.
Yeah.
Just ply him with some plum brandy and bring him in.
It'd have to be an expensive Portuguese wine, I think.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Man's got tastes. Yeah. At some point, I'm going to get up there and check out his restaurant, or one of them anyway. It's got 2 now, but he made like I think it was top 10 best restaurants in New Jersey or something.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty good considering he's like two years out the gate. So not too bad.
Yeah. Let's hope he keeps the momentum. That's awesome.
Yeah.
The good news is at least making a pie mead isn't like people who do pastry stouts where they'll, some of these guys toss whole cakes or pies into their stout.
They actually do that. I was always wondering because I've had pastry stouts before, but I didn't know if they were throwing the whole schmeal in there or if it was more of a using various things to make it seem like that.
They do.
All right, who's gonna make a Twinkie mead now?
And Oreos.
That'd be Whitey.
Yes, it would.
That'll be a mead that never expires.
Yeah, seal the bottle, wrap it in plastic. Seal the bottle, wrap it in plastic, and then when the world comes to an end, and the only thing that survives will be cockroaches and that mead.
Right, there'll be archaeologists 50,000 years in the future. They'll be, what is this? Oh, it's a Twinkie mead. I've heard about it.
It's still good.
Yeah,
still good. But yeah, no, they throw Oreos into these pastry stouts, etc. So there's a guy that I know who comes to this event that we do here in the Tri-State area every year, and he's a brewer at one of these unique breweries in Moorhead, Minnesota. That's famous for their pastry stouts and whatnot. And we asked him once, like, what's your least favorite beer to brew? And it was one where they added 800 pounds of craft marshmallow fluff to a pastry stout.
Oh, God.
I just felt my blood sugar go up.
Oh, right? And he said they have to do 2 days of pump overs to get it integrated into the beer.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. But he says we keep making it because it sells out faster than we can make it.
Wow.
So it works.
Obviously, people like it.
Yeah, it works.
They wouldn't keep making those if people didn't. I mean, that's the reason why every brewery has 47 IPAs.
IPAs because they freaking sell.
Yeah.
Yep. And they even call their Pilsners IPAs, so they will sell.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Sometimes, yeah, some of them do stuff like that.
I like that sour they had at the brewery this past weekend. That's pretty good.
Yeah, they do a pretty good job with just about everything, actually. Yeah. Well, okay. I think we're out of Nathan questions.
We are. So what are you working on now?
Is
Jason.
that? Oh, me.
Yeah, you. Pointing at you,
We're
man.
here every week. Nobody cares.
A couple of entries for NHC that I have to get done in the next 2 weeks
Oh,
because I'm in the Seattle first round. So doing just a couple session meads with Kvike.
what strain?
It depends on what I'm making. So one is a palm fruit mead, and for that I usually like to use Kviking on that. It just adds a really nice. It brings out the fruit on that, while also adding a little bit of a tropical twist to it. If it's something that I need clean, I'll usually use something like Lutra or Hothead. But I'll just wrap my honey blankets around the fermenters and let it go to town.
Cool.
Usually done within about 7 days.
Yeah.
So it's a nice way to make a quick session mead.
Yeah, Vike is fast, so there's that.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm working on right now.
Okay. Something a little different, huh?
Something a little different.
But not yet weird.
Not yet weird. We'll see how it comes out.
Yeah.
I'm sure I have a few in the basement that have probably turned weird. I need to go down and visit those.
Oh, Christian's saying the braggot he made with Counterpoint was a Hornadal with wildflower and buckwheat honey. He said the Hornadal added an awesome citrus.
Yeah, it will. Yeah, Hornadal. God, there's so many Kviking, there's so many Kvike strains out now. I remember when you had your choice of Voss or Hornadal.
Yeah, now there's half a dozen in there.
Yeah, there's like 8 or 9 now because everybody jumped on that bandwagon. I mean, you even have a Lithuanian version of Kvike yeast for making, like farmhouse ales, stuff like that.
Interesting.
So, yeah, I mean, really just pick one that will donate the flavor contribution from the yeast that you're wanting. It's kind of like doing a Belgian beer. There's a zillion Belgian strains out there, it feels like, but depending upon what you're wanting to make and how much of that Belgian spice character and and esters and phenolics that you want, you're going to pick a very specific yeast for that particular beer. It's really similar with Kvike. I mean, if you have a mead that you want to have a little bit of a citrus note in, go with the strains that will, give you the most out of it for that. So luckily now you have probably a good 3 or 4 strains that are out there that you could probably use if you just wanted to make a clean mead, because they'll ferment up to 16% ABV. A lot of them will.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive.
The one thing I did find out on Kvike yeast is once that yeast seems like it's done and it's dropped, or at least, fermentation has stopped and your gravity's stable for, a couple of days at least, transfer the mead off the yeast cake and then stabilize it. Otherwise, if you add anything else in there, it's just going to start to chew through that too.
Yeah, I know. It's so aggressive. I remember Carvin telling that he had, again, he lives outside Phoenix, and he was talking about how he had done one, and it was like 26 hours from get to go.
Yeah.
He left it on the picnic table outside in the
Yeah,
summer.
he set it out in the backyard on the picnic table because it's
Yep.
like 1,000,000 degrees, in Phoenix. And he said that it was crazy because he was expecting. I think this was his first go with it, or maybe not. I don't know. He didn't really say, but he was just like stunned at how clean it was. When it had been sitting out on the picnic table in the sun, probably at 115, 120 degrees by the time it's all said and done.
Mm. Yuck.
Yeah, you wouldn't think so, but it's like he said it was clean as a whistle, and then it was on and on raving about the nice tropical notes that it was throwing. So I thought that was pretty neat. Now I've got a yen to do it, and I just haven't yet. So
Yeah, when these are done, I'll send you a bottle.
all right, cool.
Add it to
I
your
won't
add it to your copious collection.
Yeah,
If I
Amy's
would
got
have
me
known
beat
you,
by a country mile. Go ahead, Kev. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, if I would have known you wanted to run some of this, I would have given you a few flakes when you were here.
I wasn't even thinking of you. Were busy.
I was busy, but I already had your stuff all packaged up, so I would have just
Yes, you did. I didn't even think about it. I just been meaning to buy some and hadn't gotten around to it yet. So
yeah, well, that's cheap.
Yeah. So I figure it's not too much. I got to put it in order at the online brew shop anyway because I need buckets and stuff. So
Yeah. I build starters. Still using the same original strain that I've had for 5 years, and I just keep flakes in the freezer now after talking to Mark Garsol, and it works so good. I just pull a couple of flakes out, I build a small starter, and then I double, and then pit, and it works great.
yeah,
Cool.
Good stuff.
do you find that you have to put all your? I know you mostly sessions, but do you put all your mead feed up front? All your
If
mead
I'm doing a session, absolutely. Anything that's 1085 gravity or below is Yep.
Okay.
anything
Would you
above
do
that.
the same if you were using Kvike and doing a full ABV mead?
No, I would probably stagger if it's like 1.120 or down to 1.085. I would probably stagger it with at least 2 additions, probably 3. And then if I go above 120 into a sack strength range, I'm going to do all 4 additions every, day 1, 2, 3, and then 7. Or sugar break, wherever it lands.
Even as fast as Kvike goes?
It doesn't go that fast when it's in a sack meat.
Oh, I suppose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when it's in a sack, it slows down.
And I also am not
even
going to
Kvike has to chew through a sack.
Right. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of sugar there, and I'm also not going to ferment the sack meat at 105 or 6 degrees either.
Yeah, fair.
Because with a sack meat, I'm not in a hurry. I mean, I could. I haven't tried it. I could try that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I have a new thing to try.
Experiment time. Yay.
Yeah. I only have about 100 projects to do. So
Yeah. Right. Well,
is that all?
Well, I mean, come on, Kev. You're retired and all your copious spare time and everything.
Yeah, exactly. The last 6 months getting ready for this competition took all of my time. Are you kidding?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But that's done.
Yeah, but you're not running it next year.
I know.
The freedom.
I will be involved and I will be doing stuff, but I won't be running it, and I won't.
You're not in charge.
I won't have access to the database next year.
Yep. That'll be Josh's job next year.
That's right. But which also means I will be entering.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. So maybe that'll be one of the things I put in. The sack strength 105 degrees fermented. Right. Huh.
Yes,
Do you think would that qualify as experimental or not really?
Ooh, that's a good question.
It's not
well,
really. It's
not
unusual, but it's not really experimental.
What? Okay, so you're talking about doing a trad with Kvike?
I don't know. I'm just right now. I'm brainstorming.
Yeah. I
let's
mean, if
talk
it was
recipes,
if it was a straight, okay, yeah, let's talk recipes. If it was a straight up trad with Kvike yeast or not, it's still going to be, it's not going to go into. I can't see any way to go into experimental unless you'd be doing something weird.
You got to do something else with it. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it needs to be a Weirdamel, and that's not a Weirdamel. So.
No, I mean the only thing weird about it is fermenting at hot, right?
Yeah, which is that's really neither here nor there because you ferment at the temperature that's the right range for the yeast.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never heard of anybody making a sack strength, like a big sack strength mead at high temperatures like that. I've never heard of anybody doing that. It doesn't mean it hasn't been done.
Yeah, we just haven't seen it.
We just haven't heard about it.
Yeah.
And maybe there's a reason we haven't heard about it.
Maybe try a 1 gallon batch then with honey that's not too precious.
Yeah, with honey that's not your favorite.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think if you're going to do a sack strength, you'd almost have to step feed it.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yeah.
Well, get the yeast really going and get a good population growing off of what would.
Well, that's what a starter's for.
Yeah, you can do a starter, but you can also just go through over the course of 2 days and let it chew through the honey as you add it too.
Yeah.
It also depends on what you do with your nutrients. I mean, when I'm using Kvike, I front load everything.
Yeah, that's what I've heard is that most of the people I know use Kvike front load.
Yeah,
well, it sounds like you don't really have time not to.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess it depends on the temp you're using. If you're going in at 99 degrees, then yeah, you probably can use a more standard feeding schedule. But if you're going in at 105, 110, something like that, it might be a whole different story.
Yeah, Kvike is a nutrient hog. It will chew through a large amount of nutrient.
People say that, but I have not found that to be true personally. And I use Kvike a lot.
Okay.
But different people, different things, mileage varies, all that stuff, right?
I'm gonna say if it's coming out good, then that works. I mean,
if it works for you with a high nutrient load, great. I find I treat it just like normal. So for me, that works. But I also haven't done it with like really big meads. Now, let's just chat for a second about that idea of step feeding. So I'm not a particular fan of step feeding.
Okay.
Mostly because in at least with my process, what I end up with is a 17% mead.
Yep.
Which is not desirable for me.
Not for you, yeah. There are plenty of other people it is, though.
Oh, no, I get it. There's a lot of people who just want to make really high ABV meads, and that makes them happy and good for them.
Oh, not me, man. That makes me painful.
Exactly. I don't want that.
I don't want to be in pain when I'm drinking mead.
So for the last year, I've been making some pretty substantially large mead and deliberately building them so that they finish at about 12%. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to step feed those. So that's why I'm not a big fan of step feeding. I can actually pretty well predict the stopping point of my mead if I build it right, because I know roughly where it's going to hit the Dell limit for the sugar that's in there, combined with alcohol, and I just haven't done it hot with Kvike. So I think it's a good experiment. I'm going to have to try that here.
Yeah, then you'll have to, take good notes, and you come back and let us know how that goes.
I always take good
one
notes.
on the list.
I know you do.
You know me.
Yes, I do.
Detail and geeky
Mr.
and
Detail oriented. Yep. I know. I count on that, actually.
Yeah, drives some people nuts. I know. I'm sorry. Yeah. I apologize.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. It's got its places, and it can be very handy in the right situations. Right. Other times it can be kind of annoying, but that's okay.
In public, I know. I get it.
It's no big deal. It's it's good. It works for the things you're doing it for, and that's the thing. Will you guys stop? They're all whining at me. John's in Pensacola for the week for work. So, it's just like, could you pick different weeks, please? That would be great.
A lot of times I don't see people step feed around here is for if they're trying to do a Polish style mead here.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot around the Polish because you've almost got to, from what I understand.
So again, I asked the question there though. If you look at the ABV range for even the big, thick, sweet Polish mead, it's not 15%. It's
No.
12.
Yeah, but they're with the high amount of honey that they're going in with. It seems like there's a lot of folks who end up doing that in order to get it to the finish line.
Yeah.
Well,
You
if you go with the Bob Clancy method, he
Which is don't
underpitches.
take notes, don't measure anything.
Just do it.
Add
And
a
it
little
works
water, and then you pitch a little bit of yeast, and you come back in 3 years, and you have a Polish mead.
Yeah.
See, that sounds like
There's
my style, but
one or two more steps in there, but yeah.
the reason I step feed,
Mix his honey into the water.
His meads are good too.
Right, absolutely. In fact, I think the best mead I had in Mexico
Was one of Bobby's.
one of his.
Yeah.
It was thick and luscious and delicious. It tasted like the honey that it was.
Mhm.
And I think it was one of those deals where he adds a little bit of water, does a little tiny bit of mixing, enough to get a fermentation started, pitches his yeast, and then walks away, because eventually the yeast just chews through all that honey that didn't get mixed in the bottom because it sits for 3 years.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know, it worked. I'm not denying that it worked. And I just don't have the patience to wait for 3 years.
and some of us like a little more control.
Yeah, that too. I'm very much wanting to be in.
I never would have guessed that.
I know. Imagine. Just
Never would have crossed my mind.
Honestly, my biggest problem with doing step feeding is that it's really a lot of academic athletics to try to figure out what your ABV is at the end of it all. So I always end up doing a spirit indication test at the end.
Meaning
'Cause-
you're doing like an evaporation or what?
Yep.
Okay. A lot of work.
Yeah, not really. I just fill my hydrometer tube with the stuff I want, boil it till there's almost nothing, put some water in just to make sure all the alcohol's gone, and then put whatever's left, rinse it into the back into the tube, let it cool to room temperature or whatever temperature it was when I measured it, and then fill it back up with distilled water. Take the difference. It's not that involved. It's not a huge amount, so it doesn't take that long to do it. It's just annoying because I'd rather be able to do it by math.
Yeah.
So I was just going to ask, have you compared that method to doing the math? It sounds like you haven't.
Mostly because I don't have good volumetric measurements. When I do stuff, I tend to do it by weight, so I don't know what the volume is.
Okay.
And I know from experience that none of my carboys are exactly the same size, no matter what they actually say. So doing the concentration volumetric thing, it's not a thing for me. And the other thing I discovered while doing that is that we way overestimate the amount of alcohol we have in our brews using a hydrometer.
Okay.
Because the sugar causes it to float, but the alcohol causes it to sink. And so you can actually you can still have sugar in something that says it's 0, which means you didn't actually ferment it all to alcohol. It's just the alcohol making it sink artificially. And every time I've ever brought that up, I get shut down because nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to think about the math.
I'm actually glad you brought that up, because I had that same issue, and I finally I got tired enough of having to go through that. I invested in an Easy Dens.
Okay.
And
So you're looking at the density of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's just, mostly I figure that what I'm doing for something that's 10 to 12% is close enough. But when I'm getting into something where, like, my calculations say that this should be 20%, I'm getting 16.
Right.
Yeah, that's how much your alcohol is making a difference when you're up at that level. So, yeah. Glad I'm not the only one who's noticed that.
There's a formula that compensates for that, but you kind of want that to be into a little app or a spreadsheet or something to do the math for you, because it's a lot of math, which is what I do. I just plug it in. I've got the math built into my spreadsheet. I plug the numbers in and then spit out the answer. It's pretty dang cool.
That's nice.
But the Easy Dent is a fantastic tool for people who have money and they don't mind spending it. It's a really, really fun tool.
Yeah.
I don't have one. I'm very jealous of people who do, but I'm not. My math worked really well, and I'm not willing to spend $400 on something when I can just plug a number into my spreadsheet.
We found a gadget that the Gadget Master doesn't want to buy.
I'm not willing to pay for it.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to buy it, you just don't want to give them the money.
I've drawn the line.
You've drawn the line. Well, now we know where Kevin's line is.
I'll buy honey I don't need, but I've drawn the line on that because the math does the job very well.
Yeah, if the math is working, then yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean,
find my math goes to hell anytime I add anything after the fact. That's all.
If somebody gave me one, I would very happily accept.
Yeah, I hear you.
I went out and got another one because I thought I lost my old one. I still have that
of course,
old
the other
here.
one was sitting there when you got the new one, right?
Yeah, after I unpacked a few boxes more, I came across it. So if I find it, I might send it up to you, Kevin.
Score.
We're friends for life? No.
Yeah, right? Brother!
I mean, the good thing about them is that, yeah, they are definitely expensive, but boy, are they exact. And you can use them for multiple kinds of beverages, all sorts of stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, sounds great. Well, I got lots of meat here if you want anything. I'm sure you do too, though. That's the other problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's different mead.
Yeah.
True. Yep. Oh, boy.
You can always give me more honey.
Oh, boy. Yeah, well, it's probably going to be a repeat of all the stuff you already got.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Is there such a thing as too much honey? I don't think so.
It depends on who you ask. And if you talk to Mari, I suspect you'll get a different answer than you would if you talk to me.
Yeah. Well,
You're probably right. Yeah, John's kind of in that space right now too. But since I hide mine down in the storage room,
he doesn't
have to see it, so it's not front of mind. You know, I'm usually the one who goes in there to fetch, like, another package of tea or a can of soup or whatever it is that we're getting down there. So it's.
Do you think that's why Carbon built a honey shed at his place in Arizona? So Robin didn't.
Oh, it absolutely is, because if you'd seen the pictures of their beautiful home in Chandler, and the hallways are stacked 5 buckets high with meat or with honey, and Robin was unamused. So
talk about hiding.
Yeah.
I'm sure he knows, but it's sort of an intellectual no as opposed to a visceral I see it and know it.
Yeah.
It's different when you don't have to step around it every time you go down the stairs, right?
Right,
exactly,
If you're tripping over it every time you go to the bathroom,
Yeah.
It's a little hard to ignore, but yeah, if it's out of sight, it's out of mind, and that's
Or you
kind
want
of
to
what
invite
I'm going
some friends in for a party and they all have to make their way through these steps.
Well, I haven't brought in that 1 gallon pail I got from Brian's yet, but now John's gone. It's still sitting out in the Jeep, so I'm just gonna go ahead and bring it on in and put it down in the stash, and he'll never know.
Okay, well, he's gone, so that'll work.
That'll work.
The dogs won't tell.
And the dogs won't tell. No, because
he doesn't listen to the podcast, so you're good.
Yeah, he doesn't listen to the podcast.
Oh, even better. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you watch. Somebody's going to go tell him to listen to podcasts.
Oh, no. Crazy.
Yeah, that's, what are you
right.
going to do?
We'll talk, Jason. Yeah. I have more honey than I probably can use, and we can work something on.
I do too, but I'll never turn down free honey or a trade.
Same.
Well, Vicky's starting to keep bees here now this year.
Yeah.
So
My bees
in a
come
couple
next
of
month.
years,
I'm so excited.
yeah.
Bees are so much fun.
They
I
are.
won't have any this year, but next year I will again. So
Cool.
this
Yeah.
year there's a garage going in the back. That's where all the honey will probably go. So this will be another one of those. Oh, she doesn't see it anymore.
Well, John's been really keen on me getting bees, so I don't think he realizes just what he's bought into here.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Right?
it's
Yeah,
not
no
really
idea.
it's not a way to save money on honey.
No,
It's really not.
absolutely not. No. And I've got, and it's like, so the next day I went in and put in my order for seeds from Johnny Seeds, and I've got all kind of flowers, and I've got I'm fixing to put in an order with the Arbor Tree Foundation because I need to get my fruit trees in. But I'm also getting like beauty berries and raspberry, a whole bunch of pollinator friendly stuff. So there's going to be some happy bees that won't have to go real far.
Trees already though.
The what?
I thought you had apple trees already on the property.
Yes, we have like about 10 or 12 bird seeded apple trees. They're basically birds pooping.
Perfect.
Seeds. Yeah. And because this was a field when I was a kid, this was a horse pasture and a cow pasture. So there wasn't no trees, and now there's apple trees all over the place. And I've got a couple pear trees. Plus I've got a pretty large Concord grapevine that my dad put in that I've got to prune the living crap out of because it's way overgrown. But yeah, so I'm putting in peaches, some more pears, couple of cherries, pawpaws if I can. What else was in there? Oh, a couple of nut trees. Just getting a bunch of stuff. So yeah, Arbor Tree Foundation is great. Make a monthly donation, you get like a big discount, and you're helping them plant trees. So, my plug for the Arbor Day Foundation. But they'll ship you trees, and if for whatever reason the tree dies, they'll ship you another one.
That's handy.
Yeah. So they stand behind their stuff, and they're reliable. So yeah, I gotta cut down a bunch of stuff, so I'm gonna replace them with fruit trees and nut trees and useful stuff.
Food forest.
Food forest, yeah, exactly.
And the fruit trees will be really good for the sort of first meal in the spring for the bees.
Oh yeah, that's what I figure. So, not counting on any honey this year though. If I get to taste it, I'll be happy. So.
Well, you should be able to.
Well, they were telling us don't expect a lot. I mean,
no, but I mean, a taste is different than harvest, right?
Yeah.
Always bring a little container out with yourself so that you've got something to put, like the extra comb that they put in between things that you need to clear out, because that's always full of honey.
Okay.
So bringing a container out, that's where you get your little taste samples from.
Cool.
Also, little bits of beeswax.
You should be able to pull at least one frame. It's not gonna do much for you, but you'll get a little. You can get a jar.
Yeah. That'll be the stuff I jar up to put on toast.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be cool.
Oh yeah, I think you'll love it. You'll love it.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm all excited. I've got to go get my fencing to keep the bears away and stuff.
You'll also be disappointed, but that's part of the deal.
That's part of the deal.
It's
like a garden, I mean, it's like you get good. There's good, there's bad, there's ugly, and there's you just keep practicing,
Like mead.
Yeah.
Yep.
But this has been fun. I'm surprised you're, like not going to bed early and stuff, Jason. What with how we didn't got through the whole weekend and hardly slept at all.
I got back Sunday, and we got back into town because we stopped for dinner, of course, and we got home at around 7:30, and I was in bed at 8:30.
Yeah, I got home.
The good news is that your son was with the parents, right?
Yeah.
So no stress there.
That's nice.
Yeah, he stayed with the grandparents that night, so we just.
So you were kid-free that night. That's nice.
Yep, we were kid-free and we slept.
Yeah. Well, that's what you do when you're parents. Kids aren't here. Nap time, man.
Yep.
Yeah. You got to use what you got. That's
Naps and canceled evening plans are the childhood's punishments that have become adult rewards.
That's right.
That's it. So, but yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I started driving about 11 o'clock, or no, about 10 o'clock, and got home about 10:30 that night. And then
Well, Debbie seemed to enjoy herself, so that was great.
Yeah. She had a
yeah,
good time.
she had a good time.
I think we're going to request a second floor room next time.
Yeah, get one with a working air conditioner.
Jeez. And,
Wait,
and a working fridge.
Tell me
Yeah.
about
Oh,
that.
dear.
What was the deal there?
So the hotel had a power surge. I guess earlier that week, or the week before, and they had 10 to 12 rooms there where the AC unit, that was the wall hanging AC unit inside the room, wasn't working correctly.
Oh.
And the first night we were there, it was fine. We fiddled with the wall unit, because the wall unit was just blank. The control panel, it would just flicker. So we finally got it to turn on, and it was cooling and things were comfortable. The next morning, we woke up and we went to change it, and it just flashed an error on the AC unit. So it was broke at that point. So, it'll be fine. I'll choose an upstairs balcony room or something next time.
We specifically asked for a balcony room just because we enjoyed having a balcony last year, and we got the room that had shared
Two other rooms.
Yeah, and it's like, so we ended up not being able to use the balcony because the poor guy next to us had a dog, and the dog was not amused. So,
Oh dear.
yeah.
What?
What was that, Kev?
At least it wasn't the Baymont.
Yeah, I had to find a different place to stay for Sugar Belt this year. I am not.
Well, I still think an Airbnb kind of deal. If there's enough people going.
Well, if we have enough people going, yeah, I'm down with that. It's just that with the fees and everything, Airbnbs get a little pricey. It's like it'll say $200 a night plus the fees are like another $500, and it's like, yeah, no.
Okay.
So we can find something reasonable. I'm down with that. But in the meantime, though, Jason, thank you for coming on. This is great.
Yeah.
After I ambushed you this weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, I always enjoy doing stuff like this. Get to talk to people you don't talk to that often.
That's right.
So, but yeah, I'll be going to bed right after this.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say when we're done, I probably won't be long behind it. So yeah.
I got a little catching up to do.
Yeah. Same.
Everyone's got hot dates with their pillows.
Yeah, and since I'm husbandless, that means the dogs are getting me up at 6 instead of him. So.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like crap.
Furry alarm clock.
Yeah, you can't really do much about it. They get up when they get up. So,
And then you get up when they get up, or else.
And that's exactly, and then you can't really go back to bed by the time it's over. Yeah. Too much barking and swirling about. But
I bet they go back to bed after it's all over, though.
yeah, they do, actually. Little assholes. Well, Jason, tell Deb said hey,
Will do. Yeah, we're still on the fence, I think, about Sugar Belt. It's just going to depend on how much is going on around that time. So
yeah, I've already made the commitment. I told Corey I'd pour for him. So
oh, sucker.
Yeah, I know. Well, Corey needed somebody, and it'll be fun. I haven't poured at a festival in a while, so.
Well, it's not like you don't already get to enjoy the after pouring fun.
Yeah.
When the event's over, so.
Yeah, that's what I figure, and I get to get in for free, so there's that.
Yeah.
Not complaining, and it's only like a 5-hour drive, so I got to see if Rob is planning on going, and he was my travel mate last time, so.
If I don't go, it'll be $500 on Mead saved at Manic. So.
Yeah,
I don't,
know.
I don't leave that
Money.
place without like a.
Oh
box
yeah,
full.
same.
Yep, they do make very, very good mead for sure.
Yeah, I want to get some more of their stuff for sure. I like their
Mhm.
meads.
All right, well, I guess we should wrap up. It's now 2 hours, and
Yeah, and let Jason get some
needs to
sleep.
get ready for work in the morning.
Yeah.
And it's been a lot of fun. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
for joining me.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, and let me know if you guys decide to go to Sugar Belt, so we know
Will
we
do.
connect up.
Yeah, we usually stay in that little. I think it's a Hampton Inn that's like 5 minutes from Manic, and it's always been good.
Okay, cool.
It's not the Baymont.
It's not the Baymont.
honestly, a tent next to the interstate would be better than the Baymont.
Right,
You're not clubbing your leg on the bed frame.
right. I have the
Or having the
scars
bed
to prove
try to
it.
kill you. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kevin's got scars.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Well,
all right.
good night. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
It's been a
Yeah,
pleasure.
thanks so much.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Have a good one, Jason.
You too.
Night.
Night. Okay, so a lot of I said the N word. Now their dogs are all whining at me.
Oh,
Mhm.
Okay, so episodes coming up. I do have one scheduled out. So April 22nd, we're actually going to get Arnie DeFern, who runs Clockwork Bee Mead in Antwerp, Belgium. So that'll be fun. I'm backfilling all the stuff between now and then going forward. So I'll announce those as they come, and I'll put them up on the Got Mead page on Facebook so that people know what they are, and Nathan will stop going, if I knew ahead of time.
Well, if you're going to tease him about not being punctual with his...
I know, right? Yeah, he was like, well, sometimes I'm a little late. And I'm like, yeah, you scare me when you do that. And he's like, well, if I knew ahead of time. I was like, oops. Yeah, I'll work on that. Okay, so events coming up. March 12th, Cloud City Modern Mead in Leadville, Colorado has their mindfulness meetup. Yeah, Christian says he'd love to come on sometime. Yeah, I'll be hitting you up, dude. March 12th, Green Mountain Mashers, Essex, Vermont has their mead series part 3. This is Kyle Ducharme's crowd, Spiced Meads. March 13th, Scale and Feather Meadery, Avondale, Arizona has mead and a medium. So get your cards read and, have a little mead. That works. March 14th, Blonde Mead and Cider in Ann Arbor, Michigan has their Femme Feedback Mic Night. March 15th, Doggone Bees Apiary and Meadery in Hanover, PA has a mead making class. March 15th, Four Brothers Mead in Festus, Missouri has a 5-year anniversary party and the St. Patty's Day party all on the same day. March 15th, Grimsby Hollow Meadery, Middleville, Michigan. Drink Mead, Learn Things, Spirit Dragon Jar Workshop. March 15, Viking Alchemist Meadery in Smyrna, Georgia has Mead and Minis, Dragons. Yeah. March 15th, Starlight Meadery, Pittsboro, North Carolina has the Claws Avian Rehab Crowd. They'll have birds to check out, and they might even do some releases if the weather's good. Yeah. March 16th, Harvest Ridge Winery, Tough Kennemon, Pennsylvania, mead and cheese pairing. March 16th, Scale and Feather Meadery, Avondale, Arizona has a Spring Medieval Festival market. March 19th, Cloud City Modern Mead, Leadville, Colorado has their mindfulness meetup. March 19th, Kingview Mead in Mount Lebanon, PA has a trivia night. March 22nd, the Great Minnesotan Mead Tour. St. Paul, Minnesota, 3 meaderies, tasting flights, charcuterie, and lunch. March 23rd, Maniacal Meadery, Ypsilanti Township, Michigan, has the Michigan Mead Coalition March meeting. March 26th, Cloud City Modern Mead in Leadville, Colorado, has their mindfulness meetup. Also on the 26th, Kupka's Be Good Meadery in Auburn, Indiana, has a mead maker night. So it's home, commercial, whoever, come on in, let's talk mead. March 29th, Hive Mind Mead and Brew Company in Caldecott, UK, has the Eastside Kings playing live music. April 5th, Ellis Island Coffee and Wine Lounge in Edmond, Oklahoma, has a meet and greet, tasting, charity fundraiser, and silent auction featuring Dancing Skeleton Meadery. April 6th, the Thunderbird Lounge, in Phoenix, Arizona, has their 3rd annual Nordic mead making and tasting. April 6th, St. Ambrose Cellars in Beulah, Michigan has a mead and cheese pairing with the Cheese Lady. April 9th, Green Mountain Mashers, Essex, Vermont. That's Kyle Descharmes' crowd. Mead Series Part 4, Specialty Meads. I told him he needs to be recording these. He's like, I'll work on that. April 12th, the Great Minnesotan Mead Tour, St. Paul, Minnesota. 3 meaderies, tasting flights, charcuterie, and lunch. May 17th, Sugar Belt Mead Festival, Crown Point, Indiana. Many meaderies with their wares at the festival. Last I checked, it was like 30 some odd meaderies, and they're still adding them. Live music, food trucks, more. It's a lot of fun. It's a one-day festival. If you can get to this, I highly recommend it. You're not going to find any other place where you can taste this many meads from this many places in the country. And of course, if you want to find meads, you can go to shopmeads.com online. There's meaderies from all over the country and some really good ones in there. If you want to get your event on Got Mead Live, let us know. Just email us at gotmead@gotmead.com with the particulars, and we'll be happy to put it up on the show for you. In the meantime, we'll be back in 2 weeks, and be excellent to one another.
Night, everybody.
Night.